Walking the streets is difficult. I've been on a little bit of everything. They just go out and they want to get high and they want to numb up the fact they're not home. I do that with alcohol sometimes. Sometimes it takes my anxiety away. Sometimes it numbs up my stomach pain. I think, man, if I just had the money to do that, you know what I mean? If I just had the money to get there, the gas to get there, maybe I'd still be alive.
What's up, YouTube? Back with another one. Top Flight USA. What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm doing good for the situation.
Okay. What's your name, age, and where you from?
Name's Brian Bridges, Sanford, North Carolina. I'm 48.
Okay, you from Sanford,
Sanford, North Carolina.
and you're 48.
48 years old.
Okay. Are you homeless?
Definitely. Been out here about 3 years. Went through a lot of weird stuff. I can't get into a lot of what I really want to get into, but some of the stuff was paid for to kind of get me out here. Once I got out here, I've always been out here. I've seen the people. I knew people from all sides of town. And as a younger age group come up, it got a little different. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, not to interrupt you, 3 years ago, what caused you to be homeless?
Me and my brother got in a fight, and he taunted me enough to where it came down to the point that you just kind of, if they don't stop, you just kind of, your real self comes out and takes care of the problem. And a lot of lies and stuff he said, and your parents get kind of dementia, start getting old and start losing it. This for everybody. If your parents start losing it a little bit, they ain't acting right, and they ain't never lied, and they start lying, and you got to figure out why. That somebody's messing with them or something's going wrong, and it could be brain or whatever, but it's something's going wrong. Or somebody's lived at the house 42 years and worked my butt off to get kicked out.
Oh wow!
It's crazy out here because I see my mom and I love her. I love my dad. I love my whole family, but a lot of them show up. They just look. I ain't seen a lot of them come up and talk to me, and a lot of them don't live around here. I've had a bunch of friends die from overdoses, drugs, and it'll teach you to stay away from some of it. If you ain't got pain, don't take pain pills. If you ain't got anxiety, don't take anxiety medicine.
That's
Because
right.
it can lead to that forming and then the addiction of it, you just can't get off of it. And people got addicted minds. Your mind will make you want something over and over if you ain't got nothing to go towards, like a job, something like that. Walking the streets is difficult when you ain't got a car. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a vehicle to get around. I got a license, I got a car. We'd love to get a camper if anybody's got no camper or a car out there and you're in the area. Cost me my car wash back in the field, but I work for it, do whatever I need to, but I got to get some wheels out here and get going. It's hard to get a step up on life when you ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? I got a dog, I got to take care of. I got a building I live in. I got power. I use car batteries. I jump in the pond, take me a shower, wash my clothes, hang them up. Do the best I can. Use all dish detergent if y'all ever do that because it keeps the fish and everything from going bad. But I just like to get going and would love at some point to find a piece of land to do organics. And then you can see people change, you know what I mean? Like you get into good fruits, organics, and there's a difference in organics. But that's what I love to do. I love to grow.
Okay.
I like to grow medicines and have the natural stuff. Then you ain't got all the other stuff mixed in that can mess you up.
Right.
You could take something for a headache, and it might have something in there that could give you more of a headache or mess you up. So a lot of doctors' new medicines and stuff coming out throughout the period of everything I went through, taking medicines, drugs. You start to become kind of a professional, a master of it. Once you master something, you always master till you die. You know what I mean? Like if you ever master something, you got to keep mastering because there's always upgrades. But when it comes to medications, too many of my friends are dead and in the ground right now because of it. And some of them need it, some didn't. But drugs out here on the street ain't the same no more. They'll kill you.
So, what drugs have you tried, or what drugs have you been on before?
I've been on a little bit of everything, like I've been on opiates, which is your pain medicines, sulfates, morphine, stuff like that. And then you got the street stuff, heroin a long time ago. I got off it about 15 plus years ago.
That's good.
And I'd take myself to do that. And if you ain't ready, you ain't gonna go in there and get off of it. You know what I mean? You're going there and lie. I've been in a bunch of rehabs, and I've seen how the people had to taught me more about how to go in and help and do that versus being stuck out here without a car. It's hard to get to them and help. I love helping people. I pray for people and people from around the world to come and say we felt that prayer, and I love that.
Right.
I've heard them say prayer boy, and I love that. I got a bunch of nicknames out here.
You seem like a good person. My next question will be back to like your family. Did you grow up in a two-parent household?
Yeah, I had two parents. my whole life, so I was lucky at that. It seemed like every now and then I got a little wishy-washy. Wasn't sure if something was going to happen to break them apart. I'm like, well, everybody in my family's always had, my cousins, everybody, they've always had their family. You know, had a cousin die. It's like when you get a feeling like something pulls you, a guy leads you somewhere and you can't get there and something happens, it kind of goes back on your heart and think, man, if I just had the money to do that, you know what I mean? If I just had the money to get there, the gas to get there, maybe I'd still be alive. It was like I used to carry Narcan with me, and I don't even do that, but I got Narcan, so if I walk up on somebody and I can tell that they've done something, got needle marks, hit them with Narcan. Sometimes you save a life that way.
So have you ever had to actually Narcan somebody that was overdosed?
I haven't. I carried enough on me to where when people see me, if they do somebody's overdosing, I've had cars pull over and have to give them two or three of them, and they'd shoot down the street and they'd save people too. So
that's good.
Anything I carry, I like carrying medical supplies, stuff like that for people out here that are doing something. I'd rather them be clean. If they're going to do it, walk up on somebody doing something.
So why do you think there's so many overdoses out here?
I think a lot of people in life, they get to this point, they get drug into the feeling of the drug, and they don't care about nobody else and nothing else around them except to get the next one. And at the time, they don't. But when they're doing it, they want to get that little bit more numbness. And when you're numbed up, you can't be yourself. You can't be yourself and be numb. A lot of these people go out here and they just, you find them dead somewhere, or they die somewhere, and people take them moving so they don't get in trouble. You know what I mean? And I don't want to get into that, because then that goes into something else that I ain't into. You know?
Yeah, so I heard it's a new drug called Trank out now. It's like horse tranquilizer. Have you ever heard of that?
Kind of like ketamine.
Yeah.
A special case.
Yeah.
That was back in the day. That was something old, and doctors used to use it where if they couldn't keep you, in order to keep you still, I've heard it. People still feel the operations. You know what I mean? I've had people talk to me about it, and like, we still felt the operation, but they trank you so you can do it. They can do it quick. People out here on the streets do that, and sometimes they come out of it. Most time they do. Sometimes they don't, and you can do acid stuff like that. And I've seen people's brain just like so much going on in their head from doing this. Like, you can find therapeutic people that know what they're doing with it. There's other stuff out there that you can, if you have something tragic in your life, that I've talked to and kind of work with spiritually on it, and it works. Some of the stuff works, but they're taking it and say, well, it worked there, they felt good, and they put it on the streets. No, it shouldn't be through therapeutic stuff. Everything out there ought to be therapeutic to anybody. If you feel like you need therapy, then something's wrong in your life, you know what I mean? So, and then you can fix it. Only you can fix it by finding the people that make you comfortable, know you, love you, and feel good. Having a home makes a big difference. Most people ain't got homes, but they just go out and they want to get high, and they want to numb up the fact they're not at home. I do that with alcohol sometimes. Sometimes it takes my anxiety away. Sometimes it numbs up my stomach pain.
Yeah.
But use it as a medication. I used to drink a lot. When you get control of something, you don't want to go back to where it's that bad. Your heart, everything in you, your body, your soul, your mind, everything, I keep you from going back to something if you've been through it enough. Or you end up dead, and then people move on. So if people just love people and forgive people for what they do, like, it's harder for me to forgive what happened when I ain't the reason for being out here. Is somebody else had a little more money, and your parents kind of get where they don't think straight. They don't know what's real and what ain't, like a dementia thing.
So your parents have dementia?
I think they got something, because they're in and out. Like, Mama's been doing pretty good, but she'll have moments where you pull up, she don't live 7 miles from here, 7.4 miles from where I'm at.
Do you have siblings?
I got one brother.
One brother?
Yeah, that's the one I was having a problem with.
Are you the oldest or
youngest?
You the youngest?
Yeah, he's in his 50s. He's 53, 54. But for the past 3 or 4 years, my whole life, he's been trying to find a way to go against me. You know what I mean? Like, I went and worked, had money, I went and bought my cars. Every time I got paid, I'd buy, spark plugs, something like that, and I'd keep working on the cars till they were pretty much almost brand new. Brakes, exhaust system, bearings, wheels, transmission, gear, everything, carburetors, fuel injection. I just worked on them, and I get the cars right, and then something always happens. Like a tornado, we had Hurricane Fran. It put 2 trees on that car. It's a convertible, 3rd edition California convertible Camaro 305, 2-quart injection, and crushed it into the ground. So that was the last car I had in my name.
Wow.
I
see you have a resource hat on. How do you make money being out here?
I've offered my work out here. I got a dog and I got land that I'm on, so it's kind of iffy. I can't do it a few hours, but if I had a car, I could put them in our truck. I could roll the windows down and go to work. It's hard to find a job walking up off the street.
But you are willing to work?
Oh, yeah. I'm willing to work. It's just weird to have to walk up into a place because it's hard. You walk up in a place, ask for a thing of water, and you do that 3 times, and sometimes they're like, "Well, that's enough." You know what I mean? But everybody needs water every day, so it's hard to get a grasp on why they'd say that's enough, and if they know you're homeless. But it's hard. It's hard being out here because people see you walking. People stop sometimes and hand me money. You know, they'll stop and ask what's going on. They feel it in their hearts. They'll say, "God led me here." It's like going over to Walmart. I'm in the parking lot, and people come up and say a prayer, and this guy Chris with a beard, blue eyes bald, comes out and tells me I got to get out of the parking lot. I'm gonna call the police. I said, "All right, go ahead." The police come up and leave, and say, "You ain't got to leave here." You know, this has been a while back, a year or so ago. I said, all I did, people come up and said a prayer and gave me money, and so that theory was tested again when I went back over there. I stayed under a tree for 5 days, and I'm sitting up front. I probably spent the money that was given to me and what I bought. I bought a cell phone, bought some wine, stuff like that, and I'd sit out there at night time by myself and drink. And I got to charge my cell phone up, and that same guy comes out, and this is, I don't remember if the prayer was that day or that morning, but it's like every time you say a prayer, somebody come out of Walmart. And it was the same guy, you know what I mean?
And try to kick you away from Walmart.
Yeah, so they kicked me out of Walmart parking lot. You know what I mean? My granny had 6,000 shares of stock plus in Walmart. And they just go in and kick you out. I said, "What's the reason?" He said, "You're under the tree for 2 days longer than you're supposed to. If you had a car, you could be out there sleeping." So I'm less fortunate. I ain't got a car, so you're going to kick me out because I was under a tree. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, wow.
It don't make sense.
Yeah, it don't. So what would you say to the government that's, what would you tell the government for people like you that's, you know, living on the streets or might be slightly less fortunate? We're not going to say all the way less fortunate because you said you can get up and work. So, you know, just with the circumstances you're in, what would you tell the government?
I'd say there's a way to help out here. There's a way to put money. I know there's sending a lot of money around different countries helping out stuff, but a lot of the country and the people are here too. But I could be in any country and I have money, and I guarantee you somebody would help. So we're not getting a lot of help. I get help from the government. I get food stamps, stuff like that. I can't get to them. It's on the other side of town. I'm about walking. You know, take a couple hours to get over and get back. It's weird that you walk around, people know you and don't pick you up. Say, "Hey, you need a ride." It's just weird. It's like something kind of went strange in this town for me. It was like people go by and they'll see me out there, and you'll see people cry and wave, and people say my name and stuff. I know they're busy. They're going by, and it's love to me. Okay. Just to recognize me and say the name. And some ain't from here. I had a guy come in from another country, and through saying prayers, and he said it took me 28 days to get to you.
Oh, wow.
And he found me, and I was in Walmart parking lot. You know, I was sitting up at the top, and he comes up and we say prayer, a couple prayers, whatnot. It's just weird to sit in a parking lot of Walmart, which is supposed to help people.
Yeah.
And instead of, I understand being in a car, you're not seen, you know, but if you ain't got a car, what do you do? You know, my mom does the best she can do. She's busy a lot. She's got a lot of stuff she likes to do, and to keep her going, she's retired, and she used to take care of a lot of people and take them to the doctor and stuff. So I understand her kind of moving around, although it is my mama. It seems like there'd be some kind of help or some resources to get a car, get something. Because I used to pick stuff up outside the road and take everything apart and build something out of it. You know, you find a motor or something like that, you get it running. Find something different, put it on a bike, weld it to it. I like designing. I like building stuff. I like taking stuff that somebody says, "Man, this is perfect. Look at it," and you find something wrong and you fix it. You know what I mean? Like, there's always upgrades to everything. It's just hard finding a job like that out here. I've done construction and stuff like that, but I don't know the morale. Like my morale, like I feel like I ain't got no drive sometimes. You know what I mean? When you're out here, I'm sitting in my little building, got my batteries hooked up. I'll turn my tablet on, watch a movie or something. Sometimes the concentration's gone, and the doctors around here is. You go to a rehab and you really need medicine, it's almost impossible to get back on track. You know what I mean? Because you can't get the medicines you need.
Yeah.
We're going through 30 years, 35 years of taking meds, street beds, whatever, and meds from the doctors. You know, I know what all of them in and what does what to me, but it's hard to go in and say, "Hey, doc, look at my record. This is what I need." Well, you've been to rehab. So, well, we can't give you pain medicine, but I'm in pain. You know what I mean? I've been in some wrecks. I race bikes.
So that's why I like doing these street interviews, because hopefully the more and more interviews I do, I can start getting like more resources and start plugging you guys in, you know, with the help that y'all need. You know, I feel like I can do more than just, you know, give a donation after the video. Like I want to, like if you want to go get help, I want to have the services or at least know where to go, you know, to give you the information. So that's why I do this. One last question before we wrap this up. Um, with all the information that you know now, what would you tell your younger self, or like say if you had to motivate some kids out here watching it, what would you tell them?
When you get the notion and the happiness in your life and heart, and you got some money or help, and you want to move out, do it. Because I stayed at the house and helped with bills, and instead I should have been putting the money in the bank. Because if I'd have put the money in the bank and moved on out, I'd probably be out here. I'd probably be in Wilmington somewhere I wanted to be at. And instead, I, needed to stay home and help with bills, and I won't put nothing back. So now I ain't got nothing. So when your parents get some type of, if they get them dementia or something, is where they don't think straight. Sometimes they know you, sometimes they don't. And the thing was, his dad didn't know me. That's one of the other reasons they had to get out of the house. And so you scare them. They don't know who you are. They don't know who you are anymore. And so you end up on the streets. And as much work and as much Social Security and stuff that I paid in, I don't want to have to wait 12 years to get an apartment. Now I don't want to have to wait 12 years to become 62 to get an apartment.
Yeah.
Or 60 or, well,
Understand responsibilities, young people. We got it's a lot of responsibilities being an adult, taking care of business as far as like bills and things you have to. So, what's your name again?
It's Brian Bridges.
Brian out of Sanford.
Out of Sanford.
All right, Brian. Thank you for doing this interview.
Thank you, brother.
Have a blessed one.
You too.